Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. The Silent Partner is a 1978 Canadian thriller film that was directed by Daryl Duke. The movie stars Elliott Gould, Christopher Plummer, Suzanne York, and Celine Lomez. The screenplay was done by Curtis Hanson and is based on a novel called Think of a Number by Danish writer Anders Odelson. The film exemplifies the hallmark of exceptional thriller cinema by presenting a captivating premise followed by a series of complications and unexpected twists that sustain suspense and tension until the film's thrilling finale. Additionally, it invests itself in developing compelling characters. The movie features Elliott Gould in the role of Miles, a seemingly unassuming bank teller at a shopping mall in Toronto, who becomes suspicious of a grim mall Santa who appears to be plotting a bank heist at his bank. When the diabolical criminal Harry Reichl, masquerading as a mall Santa, ultimately executes the robbery, Miles has anticipated this and already concealed the bank's daily earnings, proceeds that were in excess of $48,000, in a lunchbox, leaving Reichl with only a meager sum. Upon discovering that he's been outwitted and deprived by Miles, Reichl embarks on a relentless pursuit, stalking and threatening him in an effort to recover the hidden money. This sets the stage for an intense cat-and-mouse game, where both Miles and Reichl are constrained by their attempts to implicate one another. When it was released in 1978, it was done so with little fanfare and was ignored by most audiences at the time. It took more than 40 years for it to receive warm recognition that the film deserved back when it was released. It features clockwork plotting, interesting characters and performances, a Hitchcockian tension, and skillful direction, and really does deserve to be one of the best thrillers from the 1970s. It truly transcends the bank robber genre through a stunning opening reversal in which the intended target of the robbery, Elliott Gould's bank teller character, Miles Cullen, as he becomes the actual robber, while the supposed criminal, Christopher Plummer's Harry Reichl, becomes a victim of Miles' elaborate deception. With almost flawless anticipation and timing, Miles executes his hastily assembled plan to steal the money for himself. The relationship between Miles and Reichl is one of fear, but also mutual respect for what the other is capable of. When the lead role went to Elliott Gould, he called it one of the best scripts that he had ever read, and stated that when he met the director and discovered the project, that the director was absolutely wonderful, stating that he really wanted Gould to take this part, and he and Daryl Duke had a very good working relationship the entire project, which developed into a close personal friendship. The director, Duke, ended up walking off the film because of creative differences. They then brought in Curtis Hanson, who had originally been intended to direct the film. It was Hanson's first successful suspense movie. Hanson would go on to write or direct such thrillers as L.A. Confidential from 1997, The Bedroom Window from 1987, and The Hand That Rocks the Cradle from 1992. The film is one of the first Canadian films to be developed and financed by the Canadian government's Capital Cost Allowance program, which was controversial for being nothing more than a tax shelter scheme. The main location in the movie, shown in the opening shot, is the Toronto Eaton Centre, a mall and office tower complex. It was opened just a few months before the film was shot. As of 2015, it was still the most visited shopping mall in Canada. The bank branch was real, but the name was fictional, and was located on the first floor level near a small fountain that has since been removed. The Anchor department store and the complex's namesake, Eaton's, went bankrupt and closed in 1999. The movie drastically changes its color palette from light to dark for the second half of the film. This was all done on purpose by the cinematographer Billy Williams to reflect the tone of the movie, which gets much more edgy and suspenseful towards the end. The American DVD release of the film arguably implies two false story elements in it. First, the banknotes seen in it are USA bills, but the picture is a Canadian production, with Canadian notes seen in the movie. Second, three characters are dressed in black and white gangster-like garb, implying a kind of Reservoir Dogs gang, which the movie clearly does not have. Some of the original posters for the movie featured a text preamble that read, "A masterpiece of cunning and suspense. In a web of mounting tension, a beautiful girl is trapped and torn between two lovers, climaxing in a scene more terrifying than a nightmare. A chilling story interwoven with comedy, sex, and terror." I find it interesting that Elliot Gould's character of Miles Cullen hides the money that he takes in a Superman lunchbox. His co-star in the film, Susanna York, played Superman's mother in the first two Superman movies. The girl known as Tits Out to There, Louise, wears two provocative t-shirts when she first starts working at the bank. One of them states, "Bankers do it with interest," and the other says, "Penalty for early withdrawal." The movie was controversial at the time for its grisly murder involving the jagged edge of a glass aquarium. This sequence is said to have been one of the most graphic, violent scenes in a Canadian movie, which went on to lead to more strenuous censorship classifications when films were done and released in Canada. Now, the beautiful Celine Lomez really stands out in the film. She ends up having a love scene with Elliot Gould that's pretty jaw-dropping. She told the director before doing the scene that she had no problem doing a nude scene at all, as long as it was in the context of the movie, and that she found Gould to be kind of sexy, also adding that he was almost like a little boy, somewhat naive, but extremely nice. She discussed the nude scene beforehand with then-director Daryl Duke and posed one important question to him. She asked him, "Why is it that I have to be completely nude while Elliot Gould still remained half-clothed?" His response to her, jokingly, was that "You're much prettier than Gould." Go back and take a look at this sleeper film. It's probably one of those you haven't seen, but it's definitely worth the watch. I thoroughly enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.